Hey there. Ever wondered what billionaires play with? Like, seriously, what kind of cool stuff do they own? Well, get ready, because we're about to spill the beans on the top 10 billionaire toys. Yep, we're talking about the most mind-blowing, jaw-dropping stuff you can imagine. So, are you curious to see what these super rich folks splurge on for fun? Let's dive right in and explore the world of billionaire toys. Steve Cohen's 14-foot shark. Steve Cohen, a super wealthy guy, has an art collection that's worth a whopping $1 billion. That's a crazy amount of money, right? One of the most eye-catching pieces in his collection is a shark suspended in formaldehyde. Sounds intense, doesn't it? It's called The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living, and it's by a British artist named Damien Hirst. Now, get this, back in 2004, Steve Cohen shelled out between $8 million and $12 million for this piece. That's a huge amount of money just for a shark in a tank. But here's the thing, the shark wasn't always dead and preserved like that. It was actually a real, live shark once upon a time. But wait, there's more. Over time, the shark started to deteriorate because, it's a real shark in formaldehyde, not exactly the most stable thing. So what did Steve Cohen do? He paid Hirst again for a replacement. Yep, he wanted to keep that shark vibe going strong in his collection. Elon Musk's spy submarine. Back in 2013, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, bought something really special at an auction. It was the Lotus Esprit submarine car that was used in the James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me, which came out way back in 1977. Can you believe it? He paid a whopping $866,000 for it. That's a lot of money, right? But here's the really interesting part. Elon Musk didn't just buy it to keep as a collector's item. Nope. He's got bigger plans for it. Elon has said that he wants to try and make it transform for real. Yep, you heard that right. He wants to turn this awesome submarine car into a real-life transforming vehicle, just like in the movies. How cool would that be? Imagine cruising around in a car that can also turn into a submarine whenever you want. It's like something straight out of a spy movie, isn't it? So, who knows? Maybe one day, thanks to Elon Musk's vision and innovation, we'll all be driving, or should I say, diving, in our very own spy submarines. Mikhail Prokhorov's virtual ski machine. So, Mikhail Prokhorov is this super rich dude from Russia who owns a bunch of awesome stuff, like sports teams and whatnot. But one of the coolest things he owns is this virtual ski machine. Yeah, you heard that right, virtual skiing. Now, you might be wondering, what in the world is a virtual ski machine? Well, it's basically like a big simulator that lets you feel like you're skiing without actually hitting the slopes. It's like a video game, but with real skiing sensations. And get this, Mikhail Prokhorov isn't your average rich guy. He's a total daredevil. He's done crazy stuff like filming himself doing stunts on a jet ski and then having a whole production team turn it into a cool movie with music and everything. Talk about living life on the edge. So yeah, when it comes to cool toys, Mikhail Prokhorov definitely knows how to take it to the next level with his virtual ski machine. Who knows what other wild adventures he's got up his sleeve. Paul Allen's yacht. Check out this amazing yacht owned by Microsoft billionaire Paul Allen. It's called Octopus, and it's massive, measuring a whopping 414 feet long. That's like almost the length of a football field. Can you imagine that? But wait, there's more. This incredible yacht isn't just big, it's also packed with awesome features. It's got not one, but 2 helicopters on board. Yes, you heard that right. Helicopters on a yacht. How cool is that? And if that's not enough, it even has a submarine. That's like having your own personal underwater explorer. But that's not all. Octopus isn't just for cruising around, it's also a party hotspot. With all that space, Paul Allen can throw some seriously lavish parties, and you know what that means? Celebrity sightings galore. It's like the ultimate VIP experience on the high seas. But wait, there's more. Paul Allen doesn't just have Octopus. He also owns another yacht called Tatoosh. So, it's like he's got his own little fleet of luxury yachts. Talk about living the high life. Paul Allen Plane Collection. Paul Allen, a big-time collector, has a bunch of vintage warplanes that are said to be worth millions. He keeps them safe and sound in a museum called the Flying Heritage Collection, which you can find in Everett, Washington. One cool plane he's got is the MiG-29 Fulcrum. It's a real gem. This plane was made by the Soviet Union's Mikoyan Design Bureau back in the 1970s. Its job? To give American fighter pilots a run for their money. Just imagine seeing all those amazing planes up close. It's like stepping back in time. Paul Allen sure knows how to collect some awesome stuff, right? Steven Spielberg's Citizen Kane memorabilia. Did you know that Steven Spielberg, the famous filmmaker, is a big fan of classic movies too? Yup, he's got quite the collection of movie memorabilia, and one of his prized possessions is from the legendary film Citizen Kane. Back in 1982, Spielberg splurged around $60,000 at a Sotheby's auction to get his hands on something special, the iconic sled from Citizen Kane. Yep, you heard that right, the very same sled that's at the heart of the mystery in Orson Welles' masterpiece. Even though Spielberg could easily get props from his own blockbuster movies, he just had to have this piece of cinema history. It shows how much he admires the work of Orson Welles and the importance of Citizen Kane in the world of filmmaking.
Bill Gates' Leonardo da Vinci Journal.
In one of Bill Gates' many rooms in his mansion, there's a super big library with a dome on top. Gates loves to read a lot, so he made sure to fill his library with tons of books. He's such a big fan of reading that he even got a special book dealer to bring in rare books just for him. Now, one of the coolest things in Gates' library is Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Leicester. It's like a fancy notebook from way back in the 15th century. Gates was so into it that he bought it at an auction for a jaw-dropping $30.8 million back in 1994. Out of all the scientific journals that Leonardo da Vinci made, the Codex Leicester is the most famous. It's like a treasure trove of Leonardo's thoughts and ideas about science and other cool stuff. And guess what? Gates owns one of them. How awesome is that? Richard Branson's submarine. So, Richard Branson, who's like a super rich dude, owns this huge place called Necker Island in the Caribbean. It's like paradise on Earth, covering 74 acres, and can host up to 30 people in his fancy resort. Now, imagine chilling by the pool or lazing around on the beach. Sounds nice, right? But what if you want some adventure? Well, that's where things get really exciting. Branson has this awesome yacht called the Necker Belle. It's like a floating palace, and guests can hop on board for some epic ocean adventures. But wait, there's more. He also has a submarine called the Necker Nymph. Yep, you heard that right, a submarine. So, when you're done sunbathing and swimming, you can explore the deep sea like a real explorer. How cool is that? Just imagine cruising underwater, checking out all the amazing marine life. It's like something out of a movie. Larry Ellison's Hawaiian Island. Larry Ellison, the CEO of Oracle, is super rich and loves cool stuff. Like, seriously cool stuff. One of his coolest toys is an entire island in Hawaii called Lanai. Yep, you heard that right. He owns almost the whole thing. Larry splashed out over $300 million back in 2012 to snag 98% of Lanai. That's like buying a whole bunch of video games, but way more expensive. He didn't just buy it for fun though. He's got big plans for the island. One thing Larry wants to do is make Lanai super eco-friendly, like a role model for living sustainably. That means using resources wisely and taking care of the environment. It's like making sure you turn off the lights when you're not using them, but on a massive scale. And guess what? Larry's also got this fancy hotel on Lanai called Four Seasons Resorts Lanai. It's like a super posh holiday destination with all the bells and whistles. So, not only does Larry own an island, but he's also got this awesome hotel on it. Larry Ellison's yacht. Larry Ellison, the big shot tech guy, owns a massive yacht called Musashi. This yacht is a whopping 288 feet long. Imagine that. Now, why is it called Musashi? Well, it's named after a super famous Japanese warrior from the 16th century. Pretty cool, right? So, what's inside this gigantic floating palace? It's got not one, but two master suites. That's like having two super fancy bedrooms. And guess what else? It even has a basketball hoop on board. Can you imagine shooting hoops while sailing the seas? Sounds like a dream. Larry Ellison sure knows how to live the high life with his amazing yacht, Musashi. Mark Cuban's yacht. Check out this super cool yacht owned by billionaire investor Mark Cuban. It's called the Fountainhead, and it's a whopping 288 feet long. That's huge. It's actually the sister ship to another yacht called Musashi, which belongs to another billionaire, Larry Ellison. From the outside, both yachts look almost identical. But here's the interesting part: Cuban decided to give his yacht a more antique-inspired interior. So, while the outside might look similar to Musashi, the inside has a whole different vibe. Imagine sailing on a yacht like that. It must be amazing. Mark Cuban sure knows how to live the high life. Mark Cuban's planes. Mark Cuban, the billionaire and owner of the Dallas Mavericks basketball team, owns not one, not two, but 3 private jets. Yep, you heard that right. First up, we have the Gulfstream V. He bought this beauty online in 1999 for a whopping $40 million. And get this, the Guinness Book of World Records named it the largest e-commerce buy ever. That's huge. But that's not all. Cuban also owns a Boeing 757 and a Boeing 767. Talk about flying in style. Now you might be wondering, why does he need 3 private jets? Well, according to Cuban himself, having these jets means he has more time to spend with his friends and family. It also helps him get more work done and travel comfortably with his loved ones. It's like a life and game changer for him. Eric Schmidt's yacht. So, who's Eric Schmidt? Well, he's the chairman of Google, one of the biggest tech companies in the world. And guess what? He owns a massive 195-foot yacht. Now, let's talk about this beauty. Oasis is available for charter, which means you can rent it out for a week. But hold on to your hats, because it'll cost you a whopping $400,000 for just 1 week. But what do you get for that hefty price tag? Well, let me tell you. This yacht is like a floating paradise. It's got everything you could dream of and more. Picture this: a luxurious pool where you can soak up the sun, jet skis for some high-speed fun on the water, and even a gym on board. And get this: the gym can transform into a disco. How cool is that? So, if you've got some cash to splash and you're looking for the ultimate luxury experience, why not charter Eric Schmidt's Oasis? It's sure to be an unforgettable adventure. Wow, weren't those billionaire toys amazing? We hope you had as much fun learning about them as we did showing them to you. Remember, even if we can't afford these toys, it's still super cool to see what's out there in the world of the super rich. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll invent something even cooler. Until then, keep dreaming big and enjoying the simple joys in life. Thanks for watching.